Leave your journal on your desk. Open up to the page where you just glued the steps to long division. Some important vocabulary. I need you to write this by that place where you glued it. It shows you where the vocabulary is, where each word is. The quotient is the answer to a division problem. The quotient is the answer to a division problem. The remainder is what you have left over. Most of you know the remainder. The divisors on the outside. The dividends on the inside. You're writing it in your journal. Right where you glued the steps to long division. Matthew, are you not participating today? You're not gluing that in? You're not writing this down? Turn your desk so you can watch. Now what we're going to do in a moment is we're going to go over some problems. You're going to write these problems down in your journal. We're going to work them together. We're going to talk about it step by step. So you need your journal on your desk. Open up to where you glued and get a piece of paper out. Just sitting there doing nothing does not work for Mr. McMurdo. That makes Mr. McMurdo angry. We don't want to make Mr. McMurdo angry.
It would be funny. It would be funny.
Okay, raise your hand if you do not yet have this written down. Turn your desk. Write that down. Y'all are making this an hour-long process just to write that down.
I'm sorry. We're all old grandmas. Not me. You.
All right, I'm going to put... I'm going to put two problems on the board. The first one we're going to work together. The second one you're going to try on your own. If you follow the steps, which I know you have because you just glued them in your journal, then this isn't going to be a difficult task for you to do. Okay, so let's start with 1054 divided by 2. 1054 divided by 2. Now where I see students having difficulty or thinking they don't get it is because they don't know their multiples. So the first thing I want you to do, and most of the time you can do this because you have a multiplication chart, but so you have some notes. The first thing I want you to do is write down your multiples of 2. Now, why do I only have to write the multiples down to 9? Jesse?
Because the numbers only go to 1 through 9.
Good. I'm only putting one digits up here at a time. I'm not trying to figure out right now how many times 2 goes into 1054. I'm doing them step by step. You don't have to do your... I'm going to tell you right now, your answer is going to be over 500. I don't want to see you listening. 2 times 200 is 400. 2 2 times 201 is 402. We don't need to list all that out because we're only putting one digit up there at a time. It doesn't matter how many digits your divisor has. You're still only putting one digit at a time in your quotient. Just one. Solamente uno. That's why you only have to do your first 9 multiples of your divisor. Now, right now Delaney's like, I know my multiples of 2. I'd have to write that down. Well, Delaney, tomorrow we're going to do 83. We're going to have 83 as our divisor. Delaney, do you know your multiples of 83? No. But before we start the problem that has a divisor of 83, we can go through and do the same thing again. 83 times 1 is 83. 83 times 2 is 166. 83, and we can go through and list them all. Then, once you've listed these, it requires very little thinking. It requires maybe second grade thinking once you've listed these. And the majority of you can do second grade thinking. Anton, if you need some help, you can ask somebody else if you need it. Okay. Sometimes second grade thinking might be above Anton, but the rest of you can do second grade thinking. The rest of you can. All right. Step by step. So Katie's watching. Katie's all over this. Katie's favorite math thing is division. She told me. All right, so Katie. You with me, Katie? Katie, does 2 go into 1? No. Katie, is 2 going to go into 10? Yes. I'm going to have a 3-digit number. Greater than 99, less than 1,000 will be my answer. Now this is where my multiples help me out, Katie. This is where my multiples help me out. I'm going to look at my products. My multiples of 2. I want to get as close to 10 as I can without going over. So 2, you stop me when I get as close to 10 as I can without going over. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Good. Katie, stop me. So 10 is as close as I can get to 10 without going over. That means the first number in my quotient is going to be a 5. The first number in my quotient is going to be a 5. I know I'm going through this slowly and you're all like, well, in 3rd grade, we already learned how to divide with 1-digit divisors. But if you don't practice the process, tomorrow we're going to have tears and snot bubbles and it's going to be horrible. It's going to be horrible. Nobody wants, well, yeah, but Anton's, okay, and nobody wants snot bubbles in class. All right, so Katie, shh, quiet, or Katie will yell at you all. Katie, now we take our 5 in our quotient, we multiply it times our divisor. So Katie, what's 5 times 2? 10. We subtract and we get 0. After we subtract, we bring down if there is a number. So now, Katie, we have 5 here. We want to take 2 into 5. Is 2 going to go into 5?
No.
Yes, it is.
Oh, yeah.
Not evenly, but it is. So, Katie, you stop me. We want to get as close to 5 as we can without going over. So, 2, 4. Okay, good, Katie. Stop me at 4. Okay? Because if I go to 6, that's bigger than 5, so I can't. So 2 goes into 5 2 times. So my 2 goes up here. 2 times 2 is 4. Subtract, I get 1. Bring down my 4. Bring down my 4. Okay? Now, Katie, you don't have to raise your hand and stand up and wave your arms. I'm calling on you. Okay? I'm calling on you. Just relax. So, Katie, stop me. I want to get as close to 14 as I can without going over. So you stop me when I get there. 2, 4, 6. Okay, you all aren't Katie. 8, 10, 12, 14. Oh, Katie stopped me. Okay, so 14 is as close as I can get to 14 without going over. Good job, Katie. And I find 14 is my multiple. That means I'm multiplying 2 times 7. And so my 7 goes at the top. 7 times 2 is 14. Subtract, I get 0. Do I have anything to bring down, Katie? No. So according to Katie's math, the quotient of the problem 1054 divided by 2 is 527. Any remainder, Katie? No? Because I only have a 0 and I have nothing else to bring down. So no remainder, Katie. No remainder, Katie. That's a good idea. Stop tapping. Katie wants us to check this using the inverse operation, which is?
Multiplication.
Multiplication. So we're going to take our quotient. Make sure we're following along. Hopefully you're writing this down because there's a greater than 0 chance you see this problem on an assignment later this week. So hopefully you're writing this down because there's a greater than 0 chance you see this problem on an assignment later this week. I'm just saying. All right. So I take my quotient, multiplied my divisor. Okay. I'm going to give you a chance at this, Anton, okay? You're okay now? Okay, take your finger out of your nose. And then we'll do this problem. Okay. Anton's mom, you should teach him not to pick his nose in class. If he needs to do that, tell him to go to the bathroom and do it. All right. Anton, 2 times 7 is 14. So I have 14 ones, or that's 1 10 and 4 ones. Anton, 2 times 2 is, plus 1 is 5. Anton, 2 times 5 is 10. Nothing to carry over. So I have 1054. My product is the same as my dividend. That means I have that problem done correctly. All right? Now, I'm going to put a second problem up. This one, I want you to solve on your own. And then I'm going to call on people to help. Caitlin, you with me? You writing these down? Why not? I just told you, Caitlin, that problem we just did is probably going to be on an assignment that you have on Wednesday. Yeah. Okay, zip.
Stop!
Zip, all of y'all. Second one we have 4,535 divided by 5. So write this down. I want to see your multiples of 5.
Oh, yeah.
5 times 1. If you need to, yes. And what's up here? On where you just glued your steps to long division on. So find where you glued that. And then write that one down. Then go to the next page. Yeah, you. Okay. You're about to lose recess.
See, look, I have this.
Okay, you need to be gluing it on the next blank page. So it needs to be glued back here. So that you have, so write that problem right here. just writing the problem, okay?
Stop. Stop. It's not fun.
Nobody's saying anything, Kate. Okay, if you write down the multiples, see, I keep using those words, multiples, so now you should know what a multiple is. Keep using the words quotient, divisor. So in addition to learning the process, you ought to be paying attention also to the vocabulary, so that you don't sound like a silly pants. All right, so let's look at this one. Taylor, you're going to help me with this one, okay? Don't say because you got this. You got this. We're going to go through one step at a time, Taylor. Taylor, does 5 go into 4? No. Taylor, is 5 going to go into 45? Yes. That means my answer is going to be a 3-digit number. My answer is going to be a 3-digit number. Now, Taylor, I'm going to look at my multiples of 5. I want to get as close to 45 as I can without going over. So look at these multiples. Do you see as close to I can get to 45 without going over? 9. Because 5 times 9 is 45. We multiply that, subtract, we get 0. And then we bring down the 3. Okay, Taylor. We've brought down, every time we bring down, we have to see how many times the number goes in. Turn it back. So Taylor, how many times does 5 go into 3? 0 times. Okay. I put those little lines above here because otherwise that's where we mess up. The zeros get left out a lot when we're doing these problems. The zeros get left out a lot. You know what you did. Okay, so 0 times 5 is 0. We subtract. Then we bring down the 5. Taylor, I want to get as close to 35 as I can without going over. So what number can I use? I want to get as close to 35 as I can without going over. 7. Okay, because my factors of 35 are 7 and 5. That equals 35. We subtract. We get 0. If you follow the steps every single time, listing your multiples,
I don't like to list my multiples.
that's fine.
Wow.
That's fine. But when the numbers get bigger, listing your multiples is going to save your life. Because if you bring home really bad grades, your parents just, I'm not going to say it, but they may be mean. I'm just saying they may be mean. All right, so let me give you a couple more.